So I'm speaking to my mom in the kitchen one day, and I don't know how this came up exactly, but she asks me something along the lines of, would you want to try drum lessons? At first I contemplated because I was a beginner drummer, so I wanted to be actually self-taught because I'm gonna be completely honest, I thought that self-taught drums were cooler than having normal drum lessons. So that's the whole reason I actually wanted to be self-taught. I just wanted to look cool. And I was like, I have YouTube. Like, why would I need drum teachers, right? But then at the other hand, I didn't know what to practice necessarily. I was a complete noob at drums, and I didn't know if I was doing it right or if I was just doing it completely wrong. And then I was like, you know what? Why not? Let's just give it a shot. After that, we booked a drum lesson at a fairly close place. It was actually in a big mall. There was like a tiny little music shop there. They had these tiny little rooms. There was like a studio for each instrument. Like there was a guitar studio, there was a piano studio, and then of course a drum studio at the very back. And so we just called a nice old lady there, and she's like, oh cool, we can have a lesson on Saturday at 3 p.m. or something like that. I remember the first day of going there, bro, I was literally in sweat. Like I was soaking in sweat. I was really nervous, and I never got a drum lesson in my life before, or even an instrument lesson. And adding to that fact, which made it worse, was that I had also social anxiety, like bad social anxiety 2 years ago. So you can imagine I'm literally like soaking in sweat. But after a few minutes with waiting with my parents, you know, my hands are very cold. I'm shaking literally. The receptionist, or the lady that was responsible for, I don't know, calling students out, she calls me at the very back of the hallway where there was the drum studio. So I go in there and my teacher's already there. I'm very nervous, like my nervousness, like I'm shaking like I have Alzheimer's there. So anyway, my teacher's already there, so I just sit on the drums. My teacher starts asking me some basic questions. What's your name? How far are you in drums? Whatever. We just talk for a bit. But the thing was that he was actually so nice while he was speaking to me, and I could instantly tell that he loved teaching drums. He loved teaching drums, and I loved talking about drums. And when those two combined, oh my god, like bro, I could literally speak to him for hours, even though I had like social anxiety and stuff. And after the lesson, my parents asked me how my teacher was, and I was like, I think this is a pretty good teacher that understands my problems. Like actually, I was talking to him and he was like, oh you must have this problem, and then so you have this problem, and he just understood my problems exactly, bro. And so I started getting drum lessons every weekend, and we built a closer connection with my teacher, and I felt so much more improved than when I was just trying to learn things by myself. And so now you might be like, you're getting drum lessons, your progress would be much better with drum lessons, right? But the reason that drum lessons actually helped me was because of the constant feedback that I was getting from another person. Imagine these two scenarios where you're trying to learn how to paint like Leonardo da Vinci, let's say. And the first option is where you just look up YouTube videos of how to paint like Leonardo da Vinci. Now, that is actually pretty impressive. You could actually learn by watching videos on how Leonardo da Vinci paints. The second option is where Leonardo da Vinci himself literally teaches you one-to-one how he paints, and he literally tells you exactly of how you should paint. He literally grabs your hand and makes you draw on the paper. Which one would you learn significantly faster how to paint like Leonardo da Vinci, right? Well, obviously the second one. And that's the same thing with drumming. Would you learn faster with Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffitt himself teaching you how to play the Billie Jean beat? Or would you learn faster by watching a Drumeo tutorial on how you should play Billie Jean? Well, obviously the first one, right? Wait, so you're saying that we should all just get drum lessons and drive to a studio every weekend for 2 hours and sit on an uncomfortable drum chair? No, I'd actually say drum drums coaching or any other drum online platform could be better if that's what you would want. Okay, but what if I can't just get First Tom's coaching, link in the description, shameless plug, or drum lessons? What will I do then, First Tom? Well, luckily for us, there's actually a two-step process that works just as well as drum lessons. And let's go back to how to paint like Leonardo da Vinci, right? If you wanted to paint like Leonardo da Vinci, then you need to learn, well, how he paints, right? To learn how he paints, we basically need to compare ourselves to people who already learned to paint like Leonardo da Vinci and identify what they've done so that they can paint like Leonardo da Vinci does. One important thing, do not focus on the outcomes, but rather the behaviors that you need to do. So for example, when trying to learn like how Leonardo da Vinci paints, don't just say, I need to have better brush strokes. That's an outcome. Instead, you need to say, I need to improve my wrist motion so that I have better brush strokes and I can paint like Leonardo da Vinci. Don't say, I need better technique. Say like, I need to improve my push-pull technique on my left hand so that I have better technique overall. And the actionable step is to do exactly that. So first, identify what you're lacking on. So for example, it's having a weak left hand, or it's your coordination, or whatever. And then second is look at what other people who have better coordination or left hand or technique have done to improve it, and compare yourself to those people. And then 3, ask yourself, what are the most important things that these people have done that I haven't and I need to do in order to be like them? And then 4th is you just have to do it. But how do I get up from my comfortable bed and actually sit on my drums and have the discipline to do it, First Tom? Well, there are actually 3 things that genuinely helped me to get up from my bed and actually just practice drums. So first is getting motivated. Second is accountability. Third is making your drumming consistent. When I was getting drum lessons, the only thing that helped me was watching YouTube videos to actually get motivated to get up from my bed. But sometimes watching videos would kind of be like a cope, because I'd say to myself like, yeah, I'll just watch this video next to get more motivated, and then I'll watch that video and then be like, oh, but I need to watch this video to get motivated, and then I'll just binge watch, drumming content for like 30 minutes before I'm like, oh wait, I haven't practiced yet. So it's kind of like tricky if you want to get motivated by watching YouTube videos. But a tip that works just as well as getting motivated is finding someone. They don't have to be a drummer. They can be anyone at all. They can be your dad, your uncle, your stepsister, your dog, whatever, to keep you accountable. Because we're social animals, right? And so even the tiniest thing, like your friend just says like, oh bro, you forgot to practice drums today. Even that smallest thing can significantly just improve your consistency and make you get up from your bed. So find a close friend. If you don't have friends like I do, then you can find your parents. If you don't have parents, then your sister, brother, whatever, just someone to keep you accountable for your drums. And they just have to check up on you once in a while and say like, oh bro, you need to improve your drumming, so you need to practice today. And the simplest and the best way that you can do things on drums is by just making your drumming consistent. That's exactly why you should watch this video next to learn the scientific method, like literally the scientific method I used to practice really consistently on drums. And you can actually be consistent, get accountability, and get motivated at the drums at the same time by getting my little free coaching that's in the description. There's 5 clients left, and I'm gonna be closing the free coaching soon. So if you wanted to get it for a long time but you weren't really sure if you get my coaching because you don't know how it kind of works, then get it now, and I promise that it's so simple to do. And yeah, hopefully I'll just see you there, and hopefully I'll get to talk with you, bro. If you watched till this point in the video, then you're the exact person that I want to talk to. So just get my free coaching and I'll just help you and make you be consistent. And yeah, and I'll see you in the scientific ways to be consistent at drums video, bro. And yeah, peace. Have a lovely day.